Daniel in Littleton, Colorado, just down the street from us, writes to me. Hello, Paul. Hey, Daniel. Hey, I live in Littleton, Colorado, right down the road from you, and I think we just said that, and very much would like to take the PS Audio tour. You, my friend, are most welcome, as any of you are. Ever since that pandemic has passed us, we're back to getting 2 to 3 visitors a day that come through, and they want to say hi, they want to hear the listening lab, they want to see Octave Studios, which are now upstairs, and I'm really tickled that people take the time to come here, see the operation. I mean, this is a reasonably sized, I think we're in a 30,000 square foot building. You get to see the engineering rooms, you get to see Chris Brunhaver's desk here and talk to Chris. I usually am around to say hi to, and we are delighted to have you come visit, listen, and so definitely, if you want, schedule yourself an appointment, or if you're in the area, just show up and take your chances. We do our best to accommodate. All right, my question is, I keep seeing a preamp described as passive, and I don't get what that means. Well, in its simplest form, a passive preamp is not active. You don't plug it in the wall. There's ability to control input selection, balance, and volume, but there's no amplification, okay? So years ago, we made one of the very, very first passive preamps. That was, when we started out, that was not really a thing. I mean, we certainly didn't make the very first passive preamp, but we were amongst the first way back when. And we did that because when we started out building phono preamplifiers, they were standalone. They were something that you would plug into an existing preamplifier to replace the phono stage, because our phono stage sounded so much better than almost every phono stage in most equipment of the time. And so people bought our external phono stage, took the RCA outputs, plugged it into the aux input on a preamplifier, and turned the volume up and down. Well, here's the thing. That phono preamplifier, just like today's DAC or today's phono preamplifier, if you buy a separate, we make separate phono preamplifiers to this day, that has enough output to where if you took a pair of XLR or RCA connectors and plugged it straight into your power amplifier, you'd be playing at full volume. Just like in any preamplifier where you're cranking that sucker up, right? Plenty of volume. And really all you need to do is turn it down because you have too much. So way back when, we said, why not just make a passive preamp? Why do we need to add even more amplification when the original source equipment has more than enough gain to clip the power amplifier? So really all you need to do is turn it down. Well, that's basically what we used to call pots in a box. A potentiometer, which is just a variable resistor, that's the thing you turn up and down, right? That and a selector switch and some input jacks. Now you got a passive preamp. Now you do have to make sure that that volume control, that potentiometer, is of the highest quality, because that really makes a difference sonically. Stepped attenuator, potentiometer, whatever you're going to use, that is critical. You can't just throw a cheap POS in there. It's got to be good. But once you do that, you can make a great preamplifier and it doesn't plug into the wall. It's just a passive preamplifier. So the last thing I'll say about that is one of the things that we learned over all these years is that while that is very pure, what it lacks is an output buffer. So at the output of the potentiometer, the impedance is rising and falling, the part that's feeding into your power amplifier, trying to drive the interconnect cable between the preamp and the power amp. And the net result of that is often a lack of punch, dynamics, and bottom end. And so at a minimum, you want to have an active buffer at the output of your passive volume control. And as long as you got a buffer, if you know what you're doing with a modern circuit, you might as well add a little bit of gain, and now we have what we call an active preamplifier, which really is what you should be buying.